I want to assure you that we will enjoy every bit of it. And tomorrow we'll cap it up with the proper induction. Why do you want to have this today? You wonder why. You know, we are fellows and in the making, work in progress. Then we have doctoral fellow. It is always said that we should remove the boys from the men. And when you're talking of professionalism, we know that those who are at the level of fellow and on the way to being doctoral fellow, will try to give you something extra from those who are just coming in as members or who are going in for associate or any other membership program in the institute. My name is Ayuade Abike Igbe. Never mind how the coordinator pronounced the name, but I'm here for you. And we're going to cruise together for the next 1 hour or 1.5 max, because I know that Lalale Friday, something must happen. So thank you for being with us tonight. And we are going to roll on, and I'll start sharing my slide. And I hope that once you see my slide, what you do for me is just give a digital hand. And I know that you are seeing it. Though my screen is saying that my participants can't see my screen now. So let's quickly see what we have for us today. And that is what? Developing executive presence in the workplace. Developing executive presence in the workplace. Why are we talking about executive presence? You know, I said that we want to separate the men from the boys, and at this level, you are an executive, and we want us to realize that the hood does not make the monk. We need to be able to showcase the level where we are. Somebody is using two devices. Can you please shut one down so that the echo is coming to us? Thank you. So the hood does not make the monk is always said. We want to know what you have up here in order to showcase what the Institute has bestowed on you. You know, when we finished university, they said you have been found in character and learning and all. So we want to say the same of you, that you have been found in character and whatever. And that is why we are giving you, or you are earning, whether we give you. In those days, we say they failed me. That's what my parents say. Nobody failed you, failed yourself. So let's quickly move on, and let me not start with my stories. So you're welcome on board. We're talking about executive presence in the workplace. And that is me. You will get to see who I am with when you get your slides, the presentation slides, you will get to see who I am. So let's unpack the agenda. What do we have today? One, we talk about the definition of executive presence, which we have shortened to EP. Then, know thyself. You wonder, why should I know myself? Sure, you should do. You should, because when you're an executive, let people not predict you wrongly. You need to know who you are, what you can do. What are those things that will make you not to behave like the executive, not to behave like that person that has a fellowship award from here, as well as a doctoral fellow. Then we're going to talk about Joe Harry Window. Joe Harry Window is a model. It will help us to know who we are or who you are. So we also talk about the key steps to developing executive presence. Some people say, I know it already. No, you don't. We're going to add more. Even if you do, we're going to add more to what you know. Pillars of executive presence. We're going to talk of the traits of executive presence. We're going to talk of why should I? What is the benefit? What is in it for me? Executive presence. Then how do you create a personal executive presence so that people will see when you walk into a room, you will not only be a showstopper, you will have something to show that you know what you're talking about. You'll be able to express yourself, and that is it. So we also create the environment and connect with people, because in life, you are not more than 4 steps away from that person that will make you to meet whoever will change, will be our, what do they call it now? Destiny helper. So people management, how do you manage people in order to get there? And at the end of it all, we develop a new mindset, something must change at the end of this presentation. Then if we have not discussed in the course of our, if we have not discussed in the course of our presentation, we'll have opportunity to ask questions at the end of it all. But I always give the opportunity for us to discuss in the course of our presentation. So feel free, as in adult class, we say all answers are correct. Okay, but one is more correct than the other, and one than others, then we all say, Baba, no, they fail. So please, out of nonsense, we can get sense out of it. So don't be shy to ask any question. I'll be glad to answer them. If we don't get enough answer today, maybe tomorrow at our induction, we'll have the answer to some of the questions. So let's keep rolling and we'll get there. I love this slide because it's always the slides that I like starting my presentations with, and that is, you are paid to produce results. Some people say, no, I'm not in paid employment. Sure, you are not in paid employment, but you pay people to produce results. So that means it is your people that will give you the result. You can't be everywhere all the time. So you need people to give you the result that you are, except those organizations that they pride themselves to be not for profit. But I always say not for profit. Even the surplus that they say they have is something that is taking care of the organization or whatever not-for-profit organization they're running. So it's people that will make you to get there. So focus your energy on helping your people to be successful, because when they're successful, it comes back to you. And when they are not successful, it also comes back to you. So we need to get our people to be successful so that we all will be happy at the end of it all. That is the simple truth of life. And it's always said, like in the native way, that in Nigeria, we always say that when the child is good, it's for the father. And when the child is also good is for the mother. So when your people produce results, and good one for that matter, you are better operate. So we need to understand the individual, because the individual are the people that they're the people that make up the organization. They're the people that will help us to get there. So what do we mean by this? Human behavior is courteous. And that is why we say respect is reciprocal. Courteous, if Regina, thank you for muting. Mute yourself. Regina, thank you. You know, human behavior, if you are courteous to me, I'll also reciprocate. But if you give me the other side of the coin, you know, because one thing in life, that behavior is a two-sided coin. One is good, the other is bad. If you're courteous to me, I'm courteous to you. But when you show me the other side, I'll also show you that I have another side to my behavior. So courteous, effective, and positive interaction between two or more people, because we are more than two in the organization, with a view to upholding mutually beneficial relationship, a relationship that all of us will benefit from. So it's very important that we understand the individual. So understanding the degree of differences and pleasure or displeasure that we encounter from individual will determine what I will show, will determine the hidden traits inherent in my person or your person as the executive or those your associates in the workplace. That is why the modern management always says that we should not refer to those we call subordinate. It is, they call it the colonial mentality. So that is why the modern management says we should call them what? Associates. It makes them feel good. When I was in service, I had one director general. When we went out together, instead of him to say, oh, meet they are my officers, this is, say associate, and we'll be shaking. Who am I to be associate with my director general? So, but modern management says, call them associate, make them feel important, make them feel good that they are part of the success of the organization. And that is why the Englishman says, I work for or I work with. One shows that you are out The other one shows you are part of the success. So the other one shows that we are in this together. If the boat goes sinking, we sink together. So work for or work with. We will talk about that later. You need to ask your associates, do they work for you? Do they work with you? That is why in entrepreneurship, this is what we call intrapreneurship. You are part of the process. You are part of the process. So you are not. So in entrepreneurship, look for that person, the intra. That is the person that is with you in the course of the journey. So let's quickly look at executive presence. It is said that presence is hard to define, but we know it when we see it. Someone walks into a room and the person and people step aside, heads turn. Not that the person is dressed in an extravagant manner or whatever, but you just see that everybody seems to gravitate towards that person. Why? How do you develop that? How do people look at you? Not because you are a known figure or you belong to a particular group of people that immediately they get to see you, they say, oh, this is that person. No, just quiet you. What are they looking for? Paul, Jesus, Tony, please mute yourself. So people just gravitate. So people gravitate, conversation gravitate towards them because they just feel that this person has the charisma, this person has what it takes for us to listen to him. And how do you develop that? Some of us, immediately we get into a place, whether we are to give a speech or whatever, we develop butterfly in our tummy. And how do I behave? What do I do? No. When you have the executive presence, people will want to in their conversation. They are in charge of themselves and in any situation. I'll tell some of us that are still in that situation of butterfly in our stomach. When I was coming up in the course of my job, one of the ways in which we kill butterfly in our stomach was we were told, and it worked. When you get to a place, you don't know the people you're going to meet, you don't know what will happen. We are told to put ourselves, imagine yourself in a situation in the past that was so memorable, positively memorable, that will now transport you to the present. And you now look at it and say, that time that I had my first child, that time that I earned my first degree was the happiest moment in my life. How did I feel that time? So you now transport yourself to this present moment and you see yourself lively, up, ready to approach, ready to attack anything, attack in quote now, ready to move on, journey along whatever. So what is executive presence? What is it? Why do you need it? And how do I get it? And this is what we are going to talk about. So we have killed the butterfly in our stomach now. Transport yourself to the back, to some memories, sometimes in the past. Now bring yourself to the present, and you will be able to conquer any situation. Because when you are happy, happiness is from within, and you now take that happiness to the present and you conquer anything that is in front of you. So what is executive presence? It's the ability, listen to this word, ability to act decisively, 2, with dignity, then with that quintessential element of leadership. Act decisively, with dignity, and quintessential elements of leadership. That means leadership is part of what we are going to talk about. Because one thing that modern management has said is that leadership is a topic that we can never exhaust. There'll be so many things that will evolve and will make us to start talking about leadership from different perspectives. From time immemorial, leadership has ever been there, and it has been evolving with so many things. And part of Abdul Rashid Musa, please mute yourself. Abdul Rashid Musa, mute yourself, please. So leadership is something that we keep talking about. So those with executive presence, what do? They work well under pressure. They work well when the situation is right because they have learned to communicate well. They have the confidence, they have the capable persona to be able to deal with any situation. Nothing will catch them unawares. And this is why I love those of us that grew up in the 60s, when we were in, those of us that attended Awolowo School, not those who attended A is for Apple. Those of us that grew, that went to school under the apple tree, you remember. So what, for those of us that are in my generation, anyway, tomorrow you will know my age, never mind the gray hair. So what we're saying is that when you communicate clearly, in those days, they used to give us impromptu debate, and you go there, you have to talk, your teachers will be there. So, and at this age, what do you want to do? You want to go there and take charge of the situation you find yourself. We need to have the confidence, and you to have the good persona. And what does that mean? Be prepared. Be prepared like the scout. So that is part of the executive presence, because you can't walk into a place and let the tail be dragging, the moving the dog. The dog should wag the tail. The tail should not wag the dog. As with executive presence, you should be able to take charge from the outset. So presence is not something you are born with. It's a skill, okay? You can learn it. It's like a habit that those that are not good for us, that are not adding value to our life, we drop. And those ones that are good for us, we pick. And traits and attributes of in any situation you find yourself. Skills, habits, traits, and attributes that we can pick when they add value to our life, and those that we can drop when they do not add value to our life. So it's not a question of what status symbol or position. We have seen people with maybe higher echelon, they can't even hold a conversation. We have seen people in position, they can't even hold a conversation. You can't even call them and say, okay, you found yourself in a place and they say the Lord falls on you to talk. And you now start, no, with executive presence, you will be up to it. And that is what we want. Because people are looking up to you. People are looking and say, well, what is this man going to say? But when you have executive presence, people will not bat an eyelid when they call you to talk, when they call you to say something, okay? And this is quite different from those who talk about, those who are motivational speakers. No, you have everything wrapped up in one. So what is another term for executive presence is what? Leadership presence and personal presence. But the executive presence is at the peak of it. You start with personal presence, then you move to leadership presence. Top of the pyramid is executive presence. So personal presence wrapped into leadership presence will give you the executive presence. So the basic concept is that your demeanor and action leave the impression on others that you are a true leader. Somebody that when you tell them to close their eyes, that you are leading them to the promised land, they're ready to listen. They're ready to close their eyes and follow you. Your voice is good enough because they trust you. So a leader who is worthy to be respected and followed. Because when you look back and see the people that are following you, are you happy that you are leading them? Are you good enough to be a lion leading a pack of sheep? Or you are a sheep leading a pack of lions? You will answer that tomorrow, okay? Well, I want us to think about it. If you are a sheep leading a pack of lions, how would you manage them? If you are a lion leading a pack of sheep, what would you do? Or you want to sit on the fence? We will know tomorrow. So most importantly, executive presence is a skill, not a trait, okay? So you need to manage it and learn how to be able to build on it, and it will help us to get to what we want our people to do. So now let's talk about know thyself. People say that the illiterate of the 21st century, of the millennium, are what? Those who cannot use the computer, those who cannot read, those who can... No. You can learn how to use the computer and whatever, and you may not know there are some things still lacking in us. And as an executive, we need to know what to do, how to do it. Use it, this 6 W's and H, and you will get there with executive present. Who, where, what, how, which. Oh, why did I say that? I will have asked the question. Okay, we will ask the question later. So it is said that no one is too beaten down or too old or to anything else to do or to begin a self-improvement program. That is why we are here. We want to improve on what we know. We want to do it better than others that are in the same space with us. And that is why we're talking about executive presence. Remember, whether it is self-employment or paid employment, you need. Because at a point in time, you have to be at the top of the pyramid, the ladder of leadership. So as we move on, please, if you have any question, type it. Don't confuse yourself. Just type it. We will take it. Okay. We'll take your questions as we move on. Okay. So willingness and willingness alone is the total price for the ticket. So you have to be willing to say, I know so much. I want to add this much. There's one philosopher, I think maybe Michelangelo or something. He said, at 80, you will still learn. And let me put it the way I hope I could speak the Italian well. He said, Ancora impara. That is, at 80, I still learn. Ancora impara means I still learn. Still I learn, or I still learn. So understand your leadership style. Understand yourself so that you'll be able to key in and see what you can do where you are within your space. So what do you need to do? You need to identify your emotional state. Emotion is very important in anything that we do. So how do I now learn to understand myself? Learn to understand yourself. How? Consider these important questions. What kind of leader am I? Some people will think about the democratic leader, transitional leader, autocratic, What type of leader do you think you are? One who helps others to solve problems? A leader who helps people get along? How do others see you as a leader? How do you see yourself? Because it's always said that when you look in the mirror, you should see yourself. If you see someone else, please break that mirror. Why? Because you are not being truthful to yourself. You are looking at someone else, but you are not addressing the issue. So how do others see you, and how do you see yourself? What are your goals, purposes, and expectations in working in a particular team? As we said, no man is an island. We need people to be able to get on in life. And that is why we're going to talk about the Joe-Harry window. Joe-Harry is a combination of two names, okay? Joseph and Harry, they were two philosophers. When we're done, just check them out. Joseph and Harry. So they came up together to start this model that is called Joe-Harry window. The Joe-Harry window honestly helped me in the course of my career. I'll give you an example when we move on, how someone told me something I never knew about myself. That made me to go back to the Joe-Harry window and say, how do I know myself? What do people know about me? What am I hiding from the public? What do people know about me that I think they do not know? So the quadrants are 1, 2, 3, 4. And it has to do with self at the top of the box, then others on the other side of the box. What we also need to know is that we need to know about known to you, known to others, unknown to you, unknown to others. So we have to now work with these 4 boxes. The first box says known and known. Known to me and known to others. This is called the free area. We're going to break it down later. This is me, self. This is others on the left-hand side. This is me at the top. So the second box says unknown. Unknown to me, but known to others. Box 3 says known to me, but unknown to others. Box 4 says unknown to me, that's self, then unknown to others. How do we break this down? Let's see what it talks about. The first box says known. It is a free area. People see you, they know you. Visible difference, please. Visible difference. Mute yourself. The first box says known. Known to me, known to others. What people see about you, what people know about you in the public area, in the public domain. You don't worry so much about that. That is the side that they see about you. Then box 2, unknown by me, but known to others in the group. Unknown to me or by me, then known to others. This is what we call the blind self. Let's assume, please, can that person mute your mic? Who is that person? That person, somebody is disturbing our peace here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The second box is unknown to me, but known to others. You know, we are talking about know thyself. This is where my story comes. Once upon a time. I thought somebody would say time. No worry, we'll get to talk about that tomorrow. That person came to me and said, Mrs. Igbe, I said, yes. He said, do you know that you're a calculated risk taker? Honestly, I didn't know that about myself. He was a member of our team. I said, calculated risk taker. I said, yes. You don't jump into things without you taking a look at the risks. That you know you will take the risk, but you have to calculate the quantum of or the percentage. I'll say, oh, since that time, I started thinking about that about myself. And I took a deep look at myself. With the spirit of hindsight, I realized that that is who I am. But I didn't know. Blind spot to me, but others know, members of my team. Then the third one, known and unknown, the hidden self. The hidden self. What is known to others? Hidden self or avoided self. This is what is known to ourselves, but kept hidden to others. Known to me. Let's take as an example, I'm not saying I'm that person, no. They kept 1 million naira in this room. And I knew that if I can just get 200,000 out of it, it will solve my problems. But people will say, and they switch off the light or they kept it somewhere. I said, the money got lost. And what did they say? What is that thing that monkey ate the money, or monkey swallowed the money, or python swallowed 200,000 and whatever? And we say, madam. I say, no. And I know that I could take a little to help myself, but people will always vouch for me that no, she cannot do it. But me, I know. So that is knowing something about yourself, but hidden from others. Then the last one, which is unknown. And that is unknown to me and unknown to others. The dark area. Information that I don't even know, something that is within me that I know that I could even do. So let's take this as an example. And that is, somebody said, fire. And with my age, nobody would think that I would scale a fence of 6 feet. And what happened? Before they say far, Mrs. Igeye has jumped. And everybody now found me on the other side before they even got there. Say, madam, we didn't know that you could do high jump like that. I said, honestly, me too, I didn't know I could do it. So it's unknown to me, but when it comes, this is where our survival instincts come. The survival instinct that you don't know that you could do it, but when something stares you in the face, you just, something has come, something innate to us, like you just come and you get it done. So you need to look at it. What are those things that can make you to exhibit any of these 4 attributes? We need to look at it and see, understand yourself. Wherever we find ourselves, know what you can do. What are those things that can trigger you to lose your cool? What are those things that will make people to say, no, it cannot be? So it's very important. So now let's look at leadership. Why is leadership topic so hot? Because good leaders appear today to be the endangered species. Good leaders. They are leaders, but the good ones are endangered. Why? Because the bad ones, bad in quotes now, because it's up to us to determine, is relative. So we need to know. The ones we call bad, they have put themselves into a carcass. And so they are now ready to devour the good ones. So the good ones are endangered species and they can be taken out anytime. So this is basically on how to. Leadership is what? How to, why to, and what to do of leadership for us to be able to manage the corporate suite. For you to get there, for you to say that I hold a doctoral fellow of the Chartered Institute of Human Resources Management, or I hold a fellow of Chartered Institute of Human Resources Management, people will look and you are like this. Yes, I am. Because not like this, because you know, in native parlance, we always say that sorry has both male and female. So it's up to you for them to say, you have a doctoral fellow. Honestly, you displayed it. Honestly, where is that institute? Where you say, oh, I got this and I earned it and this. And so you will now be the person, the go-to person in that your team. So you need to know how to do what in wherever you find yourself in the C-suite. That is why you are the executive. You can't be in the C-suite and not know how to behave. It is very important. You can't have a doctoral fellow without walking up to it or living up to it, I'll say. So let's take this cartoon. Oh, congratulations, you got a leader, a newborn baby. How can you say a newborn baby is a leader at that point in time? Yes, some people are born princes, princesses, and whatever, but that does not make them to be a leader. So it is not by birth. Not everyone is born a leader, but everyone can develop the leadership skill. Everyone can learn, can benefit from using the leadership skills. So it's something that we can wear as a garment. It's something we may want to throw away when you don't know what to do with it. So if you want to become a successful leader, developing an executive presence is essential. What do we need to do? These are leaders of repute. Most of them are dead. So what did we learn from each and every one of them? My uncle, great uncle is there, and my great uncle is, there are 2 of them, Martin Luther King and Mandela. Okay, those are my great grand uncles. We'll see my cousin later, but these were people, they lived a life that people want to copy one thing or the other from what they did, not necessarily what they said. Okay, so no man will make a great leader who wants to do it all by himself or get all the credit for doing it. We need people. We need people to get along. So if your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. You are a leader. So that means you need to inspire others. You need to make them to learn more, so you become a book for them to read, for them to be able to see what they want to copy from you as a leader. is very important. If you see the lifestyle of all the people that are here, Abraham Lincoln, Mother Teresa, all of them, you see something that we go away with, that we learn from them. So what are those behaviors that will determine or define your executive presence? Everyone can improve their executive presence with focus, practice, and attitude. Focus on what you want people to learn from you. Practice what you want them to do. And the attitude that will show you are acting, you are doing what you want them to do. It's not do as I say, but do as I do. So what are those things that we need to? One of them, emotional intelligence or emotional management. We need to manage our emotions. I'll give you a story. There was this man, he was driving his Prado. He got to a filling station. For those of us that know Lagos very well, he got to a filling station, drove his car, wanted to get some petrol, and he finished. By the time he finished, he was about to enter his car to drive off. There came one downfall like that. Yeah, not the era of mood. Downfall just blocked him. And the man came down in his suit and everything. My friend, move your car. Move this this gongoni that you call motor. He started raking in his suit and his tie. In the downfall was the conductor. The conductor with the chest like this, big and everything, like a weightlifter, came out and told the man, he said, Oga, now my Oga, you dey talk to, so move your motor, or you carry my color. That means they will brush his car. So the man took a look at himself and took a look at his car, took a look at them. He just reversed. He said, next time you will not go free. What did he do at that point in time? He made his emotional intelligence override those people, or else they will do what? They will mess up with his suits and everything. So it's very important that when we have executive presence, your emotional intelligence and management should be top form. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what you do, you need to be able to manage your intelligence. You don't let people determine how you behave. Don't let them get under your skin. Don't give them the opportunity to make you lose your cool. It doesn't make you an MU, but with executive presence, you're already up there. So you need to be able to use that and get there. Public speaking, as I said before, kill the butterfly in your stomach and you get there. It will help you to communicate. And once you communicate, you connect. Okay, you connect. It's very important. Then quiet confidence. We let people come and say, when we get to our chief executive, or we get to that fellow of Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, or get to that person that has doctoral fellow of the institute, we get the confidence that we too can get there. Somebody of integrity. Then when we say your yes, it is yes. Not like when we were growing up, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Because there is a song that they taught us under the apple tree. Who will remind me of that song? When you mean to say no, something like that. I can't remember very well now. So, but for whatever.
Do not say yes when you mean to say.
Thank you, Samuel. I'm sure you didn't go to the under the apples. Do not say yes when you mean to say no. Integrity. Thank you very much, Samuel. I love that you reminded me, for those of us that went to to nursery school. Yeah. So develop a signature style. A signature style that will make people to know that at any point in time, you are ever ready. A signature style that will make people to know that when they say, come get to a place, you're there 5-10 minutes before time. It's not that they'll be waiting, where is this organ? And you now come and tell them it's a laughing time. No. Or African time. No. Develop a signature style that people will get to know. Executive presence. And as HR or people that manage people, you need that signature style. Learn to be a leader. It is a skill that everyone can learn. Now, before we move on, question time, lesson time. If you have a question, type into the chat room. If you want to unmute, let us know. Question time, blessing time. I don't like talking, and maybe I'm the only one talking and I don't like it. Can we get somebody to ask a question? Question time, blessing time. Experience sharing, more blessing. I've been sharing my experiences, and I don't want to be the only one to share experiences with us. I want people to share their own experience. How have you found yourself in a tight corner at a point in time when they say you are the executive, or you have something that they feel others don't have, and you want to now showcase that? Question time. I'm asking you the question now, not you asking me question. Okay, if you can't ask questions, share an experience with us. I'll get somebody now. Let me not call you. I like women. It's not that I'm for diversity anyway. Diversity and inclusion. Also, let me get, yes, somebody.
So, with all the lecture so far, can we in summary say the ability to inspire others' confidence makes an effective leader?
I think that's Olumide Adetoyeshe. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's part of it. To be ability to inspire others is part of the executive president.
To inspire others' confidence.
Okay, inspire their confidence. Yes, it's part of it. There are more skills that you can impact on others, and they will be able to have the confidence. It's not only confidence that they will have, they will also trust you. They will also believe that they can be like you or better than you. So yes, it is part of it. Yes, thank you. In summary, very good. Is there any woman? I know women will always beat the men to it. I want a woman. Is there any woman in-house? Let me see. No, this is Christopher. That's Henrietta. Are you there? Henrietta.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you share an
Good
experience?
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Henrietta. Can you share an experience with us, and let's see?
Okay, I will talk on leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my experience in the work area, I realized that you cannot be a leader if you don't know more than your associates now, not subordinates. Most of the time they bring, they make you leader in some departments, maybe a new department, for example, and you realize that you know lesser than the people that have been working there. So at that time, you cannot inspire them. You don't know more than they do, except you go on trainings and all that. Mm. So what I've realized is if your office is does not take that initiative to train you, you need to train yourself to be able to know more than, you need to know more than the people you're leading.
Yeah, I believe you. Thank you.
That's what that was just my experience.
Thank you, Henrietta. I believe you.
Yes,
one thing in life, and some of the errors that we make, as or some organizations make, is that there's what we call Peter principle in management. We promote people beyond their capability. Peter principle. You see, the person may be able to perform well at level 3. You know, the boy is good. The boy is good. That person is good. The boy is good. Maybe because he knows tomorrow, I hope I remember, we're going to see the human being at work. The boy is good. The boy is good. And you now promote to a level of incompetence to make a fool of him in the presence of those who know better than him. So before you promote somebody to that level, and that is the essence of where we are here. You see, when we say we have a doctoral fellow, we are a fellow of this one, live up to it. Live up to it. So that people will not say, I was an Aluta president in, I won't say where, when. There's what you call kind leader, a push around leader. A leader cannot hold his own. Now you just say, don't mind him, we know better than he does. He's just there. They'll say it's the figurehead. It is like when I said the tail wagging the dog, or is it the dog wagging the tail? So you need to hold it. You need to hold your own. And that is the essence of why we are here. Thank you very much, Rachel, for that. And for the earlier response as well. So what are the 7 key steps of to build and enhance your own executive presence, so that when you find yourself up there, you'll be able to stand and know what to say, how to say it, why you are saying it? First, have a vision and articulate it. Why are we here? As an executive in the C-suite, you direct something, even if you are not the leader at that point in time, but you are part of those who are making policies for your organization. You're part of those making policies for your business. You need to look at it. What do I need to do? How do I impact my vision or our vision on the people that will run with the dream? You know, it's always said that the office will outlive the worker. At a point in time, all of us will exit your organization. Even if you are the owner, you will exit it. You either hand over to your children or you hand over to some other people that will manage the place for you. So you need to impact and instill your vision to the people that will carry on. They will articulate it and they will run with your dream. So understand how others experience you now. Hone and build your communication skills. And that is why it is said that listening is an intellectual ability. Listening is an intellectual ability, okay? But hearing is a biological function. Kenneth asked this question. He said, good evening, ma'am. What do you mean by one's appearance being distractive to others? You know, some people, when you dress for too long, you dress flamboyantly, instead of them to listen to what you're saying, they're looking at your jewelry that is clinging here and there. They're looking at the bling, 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 bling of your dressing. Instead of them to concentrate, they're watching, they're on the lookout, say, see that person with Rolex, see that person, see what he's wearing, Gucci, and all those type of things. So that's why we said that even if you're dressed well, there's some dressing that will be distractive. Instead of them to listen to what you have to say, they are looking at your appearance. That is what we mean by that. So what we said, that build your communication skills. I was trying to say listening is an intellectual ability, where hearing is a biological function. You need to listen, you need to communicate, and communication has to do with understanding, writing, speaking, listening. Okay, we need to listen, because at times when you interject or interrupt some people's discussion, the best is yet to come. And by the time the person wants to go back, they say, I can't remember. So we need to listen. And one thing about executive presence that we need to go out with from here today is that, remember, there's what you call bottom-up leadership. Normally, leadership is usually from top to bottom. But nowadays, modern management says there is bottom-up approach to leadership. There's so many brilliant ideas down there. Give them the opportunity to express themselves. Let them communicate as you are communicating, because communication is a two-way project. So become an excellent listener, cultivate your network, and build political savvy team. This is important. Your network is your net worth. And build political savvy team is what? Let me give you an example. Some people will say, I don't want to play the office politics. Office is, yes, you get this, you get the presentation when we are done. Yes, there will be. Office politics, or wherever you are, We will play the politics. When people are talking of politics, they will be thinking of the APC, PDP, and all those stuff, or PD, APC. No. Politics is in our DNA. Even at home, we play politics. So build a political savvy team that you will, your ears will be to the ground. You will know what is in the offing before it boomerangs to anybody. So it's very important. Politics, play the politics. Play the politics. Don't run away from it. Thank you. Play the office politics. Wherever you find yourself, play the politics that is within that environment. Learn to operate effectively under stress. When I was growing up, we had a poem. They said, I will try to summarize it, that when you have an issue, it's either you go above it so that you put it under you, or you go around it and try to figure a way out, or you go under it and it will crush you. But the children of nowadays, the millennia that we are leaving the office for, who are they? Instead of them to go around, to go on top of one, they break through the process and say, let's see what we can do. So what you need to do, delegate, move out. Don't say you are the best. Make sure, give away some of those things that are stressful. Move on. You know, one thing COVID has done to the world is that it has given the world stress, depression. So why should you get more stress when you can jolly well give it out? Not give out the stress, give out that thing that could make you stressed up. So make sure your appearance is not a distraction. Okay? There are some occasions that you need to dress up to the occasion, but not something that will be outrageous. Imagine yourself dressing more expensive than the owner of the party. So it's very important that you don't let your appearance be a distraction, especially for executive, for official situation within the context. Dress within the context of what you're doing, and you will get there. So please, let's look at what we can do to get our executive presence right. So these are the 3 pillars of executive presence. Know how you act. Remember what we said, act decisively. Know how you act. 2, communicate. How do you communicate? Verbally, in writing, body language, and everything. When you go online, they will always tell you there's some people that are reading body language. Some people even lip read. Even if you are far off, they will know. If they don't get it very well, they'll be close to what you said. It is very important. With executive presence, act decisively, communicate very well, then look it. Be ready. Don't just go to a place and say, oh, maybe I'm the executive and you are not well dressed. No, be ready at any point in time. That was what we said, that you should look it. You should be able to have what it takes to get there. If people know you for your traditional way of dressing, let it be complete. If people know you that you want to dress like the Englishman, let it be complete. But don't dress in a way that people say, where does he think he's going, or where is he coming from? You know, and immediately your dressing could be a put-off. Your dressing could be a put-off. So authentically connect with others to motivate and inspire them to a common goal. What is the common goal? We want to get the job moving. We want to get people to move with us. We want people to know that we are there for them, inspire them. So these are the 8 traits of someone that has executive presence. You have a style. They have a style. I give you an example of one of my colleagues. She said said something about our one of our guys then. What did she say? She said, this man has a style. You have offended him, or you have not done something right, but the first thing that will come from his mouth will be, oh, how is your family? How is it? It will make you to feel at ease. Then you will have relaxed before he hits you with what you have done. And everybody loved him for that. When he calls you to his office, say, hey, Wahala, don't start. But he will not. You will feel relaxed and everything, and you will not tell you what you've done. So some of us are good at hitting it. You say, I hit it on there. I know how to talk. And that's how my father used to talk. But no, the world has changed from your father's time. I had a small colleague that said, I cannot stop from shouting. That's how my father was shouting. I'm like, someone says here that quite interesting discourse. In fact, I understand as leader, one needs to be on top in terms of integrity, punctuality, because the associates always look up to their team leader for character assimilation. As a leader, one must lead by action and not words only. Thank you. That is from Manir. I hope I pronounced that well. Thank you very much. He said, yes, they look up to you. So some people will now look at it and say, oh, that's how my father talks, and I cannot do this, I cannot do. Munir, okay, not Manir. Munir, thank you, Munir. Some people say, that's how my father, but your father's generation is different from this current generation. So we need to learn how to manage the members of our team. You should exude confidence. You should have charisma. You don't have to be tall, big, huge, that when you enter the room, they say, hey, see the bouncer or see this. No, your charisma will permeate the room. Like attitude, that the native people will say, your character and your attitude are like smoke, which can never be caged. And once you put it there, immediately you enter, some people say, this person has an attitude. Whether you are an executive or not, let our charisma be that will make people to draw closer to us. Trustworthiness, they need to know. We're going to get a story of being trustworthy, relatability, relate with people well, your composure, your demeanor, be transparent, be authentic, concise. Don't let people look for dictionary before they get to understand what you are talking about. Okay, so we will command respect in different ways, but we need to know that we can learn it and we'll be there. Please, in our communication, be concise, short, simple, straight. And that is why people talk of the kiss effect. Keep it short and simple, and you get there. Me, I don't like big English. Honestly, I don't. And that is what I was taught when I was in the university. Say simple and straight, and people will get to understand. Want someone to go to one angle and say, when you go straight, you take the perpendicular line. When you now go horizontal. By the time you go horizontal, remember you go lateral. When you go lateral, you now see, how do I know all this? So it's very important. I'm not saying people, those who have big grammar or good words, they shouldn't flaunt it. Please go ahead and do that. Insofar your followers understand what you're talking about. So the benefit of executive presence, what is that? Be present, that means listen. Be present again, act. Empathize, let them feel you. Let them know you are there for them. Empathize and express it. Not that you only empathize when you say, oh, no. You empathize, you make them feel that I can feel what you're feeling. You express it. Don't just say, I feel it. No, show emotions. And you will now be able to see that your associates, your employees will have better morale to work with you. They will look at you that executive. When I go to his table with a problem, is there to solve the problem, is there to provide a solution to my problem. We should not let people leave your desk without you preferring a solution. It may not be the solution, it may not be what they want, but they will live better than they came in. So it's very important. Higher productivity rates when people see you, that you are there for them. They are aware that there are things that are necessary for you to get them along. A good leader seeks to inspire, not impress. Yes, you inspire people. And we mentioned that earlier, that when you inspire them, not only to impress them, but you need to empathize, show it. Okay, because when you want to impress, it does not last long. You become a flash in the pan because it's not part of you. But when you inspire them, it's from inside of you and it is part of you all along. But when you want to impress, it's a flash in the pan. It will go like the morning dew. So think about short and long-term effect of whatever you do. Be decisive in when we are making policy that will affect a change. Let them know that change is coming. Let them know that we are all in this together. So they'll be able to be there for you and with you. So why is executive presence so important? Let's get a question. Let me quickly get this one before somebody. Why is executive presence? Question time, blessing time. Question time, blessing time. I want someone to chat us. Why is executive present? What do you need to do when you're subordinate? We said we try not to use the word subordinate and not working at your pace. How do you handle them? Regina has these questions for us. What do you do when your associates are not working at your own pace? Okay, question time, blessing time. We'll come to that, Regina. Question time, blessing time. What do you do? Let's throw that question to the house. If you want to give us an answer in the chat room, please do. If you want to unmute, let's quickly unmute so that we can move on with our presentation. Before, I think I asked a question before. Then what do you do when your people are not moving at your pace? Hello? We need to get out of here by 10 or 10:15. Yes, somebody has put it. I also second this question. I know you second them. Train them. I know you second this question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Esquire. Somebody, I love this answer. Train them. If you don't train them, then don't blame them. Lovely. That is, God bless. That's the name. For
in some cases,
there's always an action.
in some cases, when your employees are not working or your associates are not working the pace you want, you tend to motivate them. When you motivate them, you get the best out of them.
Thank you for that. Yes, motivation is part of it. Somebody said that for every reaction, there's always an action. Yeah. Yes. You said you motivate them. How do you motivate them? We are going to get to some of these answers tomorrow. But however, you know something? Some people, when you motivate them, they just feel that it is out of the abundance of what you have stolen. Because some people, when you motivate them, they say, show me. They want cash. But when you give some people cash, you think that is part of motivation. What do? They say it's part of the abundance of what you have stolen.
Not really. In some cases,
yes. What motivation? Yes, please. Mm-hmm. Yes, please. What happened? Adetoye. Hello. Oh, we lost that discussion. Adetoye. Okay, someone has
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Adetoye, yes. Olumide. Yes, I can hear
in most cases,
yes.
Most entrepreneurs or business owners barely do what we call environmental scanning of remuneration. If your employer or associate are putting in so much, but you're paying them, not at par with their contemporaries in other industry. Of course, there will be so many lackadaisical attitude to work, coming late, and every other thing. So when you do all of those things, you make your staff welfare very, very fundamental. Of course, a happy mind will bring you more productivity at the end of the day. So I think that's a better way of motivating them. Mm-hmm. It's not just money. When their welfare terms, every of their welfare terms is taken care of, the salary is up to date compared to other in the competitive market.
Yeah. Yes, I quite agree with you. Then some answers here. Some people said that somebody said motivation can be financial or otherwise. Someone said train them so that when you train them, they will know what it is. Then someone else said that there is a reaction because there was an action before that made them to show you that they are not in sync with what you are saying. Then someone else mentioned that when you motivate them, you don't have to show them that the result, but you show them the process, that they probably do not know the process. And this dovetails into the training, because when you show them the process, they'll be able to follow the process unless they want to sabotage the process. If not, you see, some of them are just lacking in the art of the process.
My question, even when you train them and you do not compensate performance, of course, they're going to perform below expectation.
Yes. Yes.
After training, if you do not, at every time recognize performance, and also, when you recognize performance, it will spur people to do more.
Yeah. You see, that's part of what we're going to talk about tomorrow, because there's usually a gap between what we are doing presently and what we want for the future. It is that gap, that critical assessment, critical knowledge of what is missing for you to be able to now analyze this situation, like what Samuel has written here. He said critical assessment. Okay, critical assessment will show whether it is training or non-training. So we need to be able to know from the diagnostic or critical assessment to know. I love what Samuel has written and what someone has written before in terms of training. So someone also said that motivation is not necessarily give cash. Your people, please. Someone is using two devices, and I think that is Peter. Peter, where you are using two devices. Can you please short one and let's know what we're talking about? So someone said motivation is not necessarily you give cash. The people do not want to know how much you know until they know that you care. Fantastic. A happy employee makes a happy brand. Fantastic. God bless. That is your name. That is good. Motivation can be relative, yes. But there are some places that is the money. They show me the money, then I'll tell you I can work better. But that is why in HR, some people in their wisdom started the employee of the month. They do this, they send you for training because they are thinking of taking you to higher responsibility so that they will not commit the error that we mentioned before, and that error of Peter principle, promoting somebody to the level of incompetence because they are not ready for that position. So make your vision clear enough to the associate, give them a timely target. Yet they still give them target, but some of them will say the target is impossible. So implication of not meeting up on the promotion or remuneration. Yeah. But at times when you give target, Peter, please switch off. When you give them target, some people will say that the target is impossible. They cannot meet the target. But without target, you can never do it. Then in some cases, team lead is expected to investigate the reason for their slow pace at work. And the team lead should identify the lapses and train, evaluate and monitor their progress. Yes, that is part of what we call the critical assessment. And no, that is what we call the root cause analysis of what went wrong, what needs to be done, and you get there. So thank you all for Tunde, please switch off your mic. So thank you all for those incisive answers. It is very important that we need to be there for our people, and let's get there. So what do we need what do we need to do? Why is executive presence so important? I thought I was going to ask the question before someone asked. Why is executive presence important? Why? Can we type into the chat room and let's know why before we unveil what we have as the answer? Just 2-3 people. Yes. Why is it important? That is no. We are finished with motivation and getting our people. Then why is executive presence important? Someone said motivation does not mean it must be financial. The manner in which we approach associates verbally, that's communication, can also go a long way. Okay, why is executive presence important? Okay, nobody has given us an answer, so let's move on. Executive presence, why is it so important? Remember we said that good leaders are endangered species. So executive presence plays a major role in your success, because if you, like the last chart said, you need to talk with them. We need to know what is going on in their mind so that we work on their psyche and they be ready to, on their psyche, and be ready to do what? To get to know that we are in this together. The executive presence, this is shaped by our emotional intelligence, our image, our interaction and impression with others, both in person and online. It is very important because the way that some people address their associate, you wonder what they're made of. An executive should mind his or her language. Mind your language. Oh, someone is talking, mind your language. So let's look at what this is important to show you relate to your staff or how you relate with your staff, and they can see and learn from you, vice versa. Thank you for that. Inspire followership. Yes, executive presence inspire followership. So it's very important. It defines your brand, like somebody mentioned earlier, and reward you with the personal fulfillment that when you are not even there, these people are ready to run with the dream. Whether you are the owner of the business or they are there as your associate, it's very important. You can't get it wrong when you get these people. Especially in many organizations, and the entire team to have a clear roadmap and coordinate their set goals. Yes, correct. Very correct. All answers are correct, as I said. So what is leadership and executive presence? Your position allows you to perform certain roles, but your function as a leader shows that you are there for them. So presence is inferred upon you. Okay, presence is inferred upon you because when you get in there, people have already jumped to a conclusion that this is a doctoral fellow, this is a fellow of Federal Institute of Human Resource Management. So they believe that you have something. People are already concluding when people see the presence in you, but it is just what you are. You need to be able to show that position of leadership. Let's see what this person has for us. It leads to employee engagement and yes, a sense of belonging. Yes, exactly. It leads to the employee engagement and sense of belonging. So how do you not define someone is there talking? How do you manage this person? Tunde, I think is it Tunde, not Tunde, please. Someone has his mic on and is disturbing us. I think it's Joshua Solomon. Joshua is disturbing us. So how do you now define executive presence? Have a positive mindset. Have a positive mindset. Consider your habits and your background. Some people will say, this is what I learned and this is what... Look at the context in which you are operating. Because if you don't, your background will come and interfere in your situation, in your executive state. Redirect your focus. Somebody is still... Gosh, I'll get that person. Joshua, mute yourself. Joshua, mute yourself, please. Joshua, thank you. Okay. So, as we said, that when you don't take care of your background or the habits that you have, it will affect the context in which you are working. People will look at you that something is wrong. What do you need to do? You now have to be able to redirect your focus. Ask for support if your background or your habits is affecting the way people are looking at you. Remember, we talked about followership. Others are observing you. You also need to know how to practice, how to speak, body language. Your communication skill is very important. It will be your emotional intelligence will be affected if you don't know how to talk well. So executive presence is such that be ready, be prepared. Learn from those who hold you in high regard. That is why in some organization, they do what they call peer review as HR, or even if you are not HR, you have your own business. Please, let's do what we call peer review. Those who are at the same level with that person, let them do peer review. What do you know about this person? It could be something that you don't have to let them write their names. Peer review will give you an insight into what someone that you have considered to be a leader will be. So we need to be able to get there. So as with us as executives, we need to be able to be there for them. We need to be the coach. We need to be the counselor. We need to be the person, the go-to person at any point in time, as with your executive president, people should look up to you and see what they can tap from your wealth of experience. Okay, so as we said before, we said at the bottom of the pyramid, we have the personal president. Next to that, higher is the leadership president. Then the top of the path is what? Executive president. So you need to wrap up your personal presence as with your leadership presence. So personal presence can get you a date and everything. Personal presence involves a new character and relationship of know-how. It is not who you are. It is how you are, how you present yourself, how you act, how people see you. So you need to learn to create a personal presence. Look, talk, think, and act like a leader. You may not be the leader at that point in time. That's the story of one team. They were to dig a trench from the spot where they are or where they were to the sea. And they were told that digging that trench will not take them more than max 2 hours. So the leader said, we will dig towards the north. The sea is to the north. From that point till afternoon, they were digging. They did not get to the river. They did not get to the sea. They did not get to any water. There's somebody who is not a leader in the team, saw a tree beside them and decided to climb the tree. And what did he do? He now noticed that the sea is to the south or to the east or somewhere, not where the leader told them. So at that point in time, the person that climbed the tree and I said, stop, we are going the other direction and this is where we should be going. That person at that point in time has given himself the title of the leader that is now directing the way we should go. So personal presence does not mean that you should be at the top, but it will give you a leverage to get to be a leader. So in essence, executive presence is the level of your ability to lead a group. It is measured by the likelihood that people will follow you and your direction and review across the team. Build capacity. What do you need to build capacity? What does that look like? The future is about nurturing. Nurture people that will take over from you. Leadership skill is in everyone. Provide an enabling environment. Be flexible and always manage your people for change. Where would we start? We'll start with you. Look in the mirror. Are you the person that is stalling others from not getting to where they want to be? At the executive president, you open the door for everybody and anybody that can showcase what we want. In the classroom, in the workplace, leadership attitude and behaviors and qualities are what we need to showcase at any point in time. Stay ahead of the game, stay ahead of the path, and you will get there. So how do you now master executive presence? Trust is one of the things that we need to. People should trust you. People should believe in you. You should believe that this relationship is not one-sided. Believe in your team. Believe in the people that are there, because team management, all of us, we get it right. Then inspire others. There are some people, they are tired of your leadership style. Some people are tired of the way you do things. So inspire them so that they'll be able to be there for you and for the organization. Remember, some of the great organizations, for those of us that watch CNN, they always talk about 100 organizations that have existed for the past 100 years. Why is it that in Nigeria, I don't know of Africa, but in Nigeria, that immediately the owner of the company dies, the organization dies? Is it that they don't believe in them? Or is it because the people did not lead the leaders or the owners did not lead the people well? So what is going wrong? What went wrong and what is going on? So when you look at it, some of these organizations that have survived 100 years, people believed in them and people ran the last race. That is what we said here. Inspired, tired, skeptical partners to run the last mile to finish the marathon. People should believe that we run the race together. They should trust you. They should believe in you. They should know that they have, even no matter the infinitesimal contribution, this organization must not go under. You should have integrity. They should also have integrity. Trust is something that all what the attributes that we have here. And then the people say, why are you still in this company? They are not paying you well. He said, I have my own contribution to this company. They respect you. They believe you are honest, you are fair. They have service to render, service above self to render to your organization. And you, as the executive, they believe that you are kind. So trust is the baseline of whatever we do as executive. So that is part of what people will use to judge our executive. But that is what people will use to judge we having doctoral fellow or fellow of the institute. Let's quickly take this case study or this story, not a case study, a story of someone that trusts and does not trust standing in the balance. So trust is a very important factor for all relationship. When trust is broken, it is the end of the relationship. Lack of trust leads to suspicion. Suspicion generates anger. Anger causes enmity. Enmity may result in separation. A telephone operator told me that one day she received a phone call. She answered, Public Utilities Board. There was silence. She repeated, PUB. There was still no answer. When she was going to cut off the line, she heard a lady's voice. Oh, this is PUB. Sorry, I got the number from my husband's pocket, but I do not know whose number it is. Without mutual trust, just imagine what will have happened to the couple if the telephone operator answered just hello instead of PUB. Trust will show the type of person we are, our character, our competence, how caring. Like someone wrote before, show your people that you care, and they will show you that they care for the business. Before we end, remember the following. Can that person, please, can that person mute your mic? Let me get the person now. Okay. Before we end, remember, success comes with people, like the first slide that we started. Everyone who succeeds does so through relationships with people. Nothing in this world was ever created, built, produced, and mass fostered, distributed, or utilized without the support of other people. We can't do it alone. Success is through people. So in order to succeed, executives must fully, like someone mentioned, engagement and empowerment is here. In order to succeed, executives will be fully engaged with employees who make up their organization, focusing skill by skill on people. People now becomes an acronym for professionalism. You cannot run a business without professionalism. You should empathize with them. You should be an optimist. Don't look at them that what you call in management self-fulfilling prophecy. And self-fulfilling prophecy is what? But they brought somebody to us to groom, to train, to counsel or coach because they said the person was not doing well and they brought the person to us to do all those things. You know, look, before the person even starts what they say, oh, bad you are, bad you always be. And that is self-fulfilling prophecy. You will not give the person the opportunity to perform. But because they've already given you a template of how the person was working somewhere, the person might not have been it. Maybe the leader was not it. So let's be optimistic about the people that work with us. Give them an opportunity to showcase what they know and how they are going to do it. Let them see themselves as partners. Show loyalty, and they will show loyalty to you. Be engaged with them and show that you can also empower them. That is the people skill. Then you also have the fish model. The fish model says, feel for others, involve them. That is empathy. Feeling for them is empathy. Involving them is engagement and empowerment. Speak to them. See their point of view and hear them out. We've been talking about communication, and that is the fish model. And remember, the rich also cry. The blood that runs in you runs in them. Treat them as human beings and they will care for the job. So we need to develop a new mindset. And the new mindset is what? Watch them grow. or see them go. As an executive, if you don't watch your people and relate with them, they will leave you. They will leave the organization. As someone mentioned before, so what do? Train them, mentor them, counsel them in order to close the identify or performance gap or skills gap in whatever they do, so that you'll be able to retain them for business success. Remember, success comes with people, and it's the people that will get the job done. So our executive presence should make us to stand up to be seen. When you stand up, people see you. You don't have to be a six-footer before you are seen. But once you command the respect of being an executive, somebody with a doctoral fellow with Chartered Institute of Human Resources Management and a fellow, you will talk and people will listen. Talk to be heard because you're talking sense. Sit to be noticed because by the time you finish talking, you will have seated and the ovation is still going on. These are the essence. These are the hallmark of an executive or of executive presence. Because life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating and recreating yourself. Get the excess luggage off you and you'll be able to see who you are and what you can do to get there. So you need to reinvent yourself. You need to focus on what is going on around you. Capture the essence of what we need to transfer to the generation behind us, to the people that are working with us. It consists of showing a better way by example. Somebody mentioned it, act, not by word of mouth. Do, so that they will know. For it is a time for a new generation of leadership to cope with new problems and new opportunities. But there is a new world to be won. That was said by J.F. Kennedy. In conclusion, remember, some of us, we need to be able to use what we call the elevator opportunity. You may not have a second chance to change an impression. First impression is a lasting impression. The 1 minute elevator opportunity, when you are on the elevator or in the lift with someone and it gives you the opportunity, tell me how you can change the world in 1 minute, because the elevator, the person is going to come out of the elevator or of the lift in 1 minute. Next floor is going on. So always be prepared. Executive presence will make us to be prepared to cash in, to leverage on what we can do for our people so that they'll be able to assist us to achieve what the organization wants us to achieve. So I want to ask a question and we will unmute. Are you wired to connect? Unmute. Yes or no? Are you wired to connect with your people?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
Ola, Linda.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. We need to connect.
Yes.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Henrietta. Thank you. Thank you for the person. Yes. Ready to. Very
Yes.
it is
Yes.
yes. And that is what we want. Because if you don't connect, you will not get there. And that is why we're going to finish with this. Be kind. For everyone you meet is carrying a heavy load. And that is when you connect with people. Everybody has something that is, thank you for those who typed in yes. Wired to connect. And you will see that your people will help you to achieve, no matter where we find ourselves, whether in paid employment or in self-employment, we need to be there. In conclusion, we say, won't we conclude? Yes, we will. We will conclude. In conclusion, should not sink the organization or you sink yourself. Go out there, make a difference, swim and set yourself up for success in whatever we do. You cannot do anything less. For the race is won by those who are prepared. And
Yes.
the best way to predict the future is to invest in it. And that is why we are here this night. We should be out there doing La La Le Friday. And that is the cup to be won. And that is the trophy. Not the cup, World Cup, no. That is the trophy to be won when you set yourself up for success, and you will get there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for giving us, not me, giving the Institute the opportunity to enjoy your evening with you. And we will now discuss, if you have questions, any question that is bothering you, let us know. We will get there with you. If you need to chat with us, please go ahead. We will be there for you. And that is the essence that you are here. Never mind. Private employment, public sector, private sector, or you are also on your own. You need to manage your people, wire and connect with them. Everybody has a way of investing in one another. Thank you for listening. Let's get some questions. And let me please remind us that we are going to get these slides. These slides are, this presentation are meant for those who are in this program. They're not for the people, they're not for the inductees of tomorrow. These are for the big guys. The big guys. The doctorate fellows and the fellows. So that is what, then we'll also get the slides for tomorrow as well, because this is like a prelude. This is like a prelude to what we are going to get tomorrow. Okay, so we'll get this one as well as the one for tomorrow. Thank you. Let's get one or two questions. I think I've eaten into 9 minutes after 10, and we'll continue tomorrow with another topic. Very interesting one as well. So let's quickly get one or two questions. The slide will be sent to you. The presentation will be sent to us. And now that you are a member, oh, no, induction is tomorrow. We swear. So tomorrow, thank you, my industry idea. Tomorrow when you get inducted, when you get inducted, we are now a member of our institute, and you also have the privilege of talking to anybody that you may wish to talk with. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. Question? Oh, this is not fair. You're not asking me a question. It's not fair. Okay, you want me to ask? I can thank this awesome institute for the amazing pre-induction training. Our mind is fired up to give our best at all times. Thank you for this. That's Samuel Osarere. Okay. Thank you for this. Our mind is fired up to give our best at all times. To all inductees, it's great to be in this new family. We appreciate you all. Thank you. Well done, Mabola Oladipo. I didn't enjoy the class due to network issues. Hey, yeah, sorry, that's Nigeria for us. Is the induction strictly for participants only, or can we invite our loved one? Tomorrow? Oh, no, you can invite your loved ones for pictures, but the online presentation is for participants only. But for us to get our gowns and everything, oh, sure you can. It's a celebration. Yes, you can invite your loved ones. We take pictures together and enjoy the moment together. It's a very good picture. Seriously, enlightening. Thank you very much. So
Thank you so much, Ma, for the training.
Thank you. Oh,
hello, Ma.
Yes.
Very educative, Ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please, in case we're interested in having the recorded version, how do we get one?
The institute will send it to you. If you want the recorded version, we send it to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Someone says it's very great. Oh, that's I think I identified that name, Mike Bamiloyi. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
yes, ma'am.
Will there be physical induction where gowns to be given? Yes, yes, yes. The registrar will tell us more about that, as well as the national coordinator, where we get it. So of course, the what we paid, you cannot go without. You can't have your fellow without the gap. Anyway, it is part of the glamour. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll enjoy ourselves more and you'll be able to interact physically. God bless. I, 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 I we thank our members in doctrine getting this slide. No, tomorrow's slide everybody will get, but this slide, this is for us, the fellows, for the fellows and doctoral fellows. Because you are in the executive, you are in the executive line, not those ones that. You don't need, maybe they are, but they didn't join this group. Thank you very much. We appreciate you and we love you as our professional colleagues. Remember to take care of your associates. Your associates. They will feel good when you call them. Thank you very much. And yeah, I stop. Oh, I can see the face of our Oga. I've been watching your film. Ah,
Thank
they
you.
just introduced me to that.
Thank you very much, man.
I shape you, you know.
Enjoy.
I love the first one. I didn't sleep until I finished all the steps. Oh, very interesting.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for the good lecture. You are so blessed.
Thank you so much. May the Lord continue to empower and take you to be able to somebody you see that. I've opened up people.
God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. This is awesome. I'm so blessed. I wish I could take the picture with you now. And somebody take what I'm taking. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coordinator.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coordinator, over to you, man.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma, for that lecture. Yes, let me respond to the question that was asked. The next induction comes up on the 28th of January, 2023, and is a physical and online induction. So for those of you that wants to still come around and wear the gown, please kindly discuss with your coordinator, or you can also reach out to me to that effect so that we can then make adequate preparation to that effect. Also, please, tomorrow we are starting up by 9 a.m. on the dot. You know, tomorrow is always full of activities. So we are starting 9 a.m. on the dot. For the lecture materials, you get the lecture materials. Can you drop your email address with your coordinator, or you can also forward to me. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Mommy Tessie, good night.